Having just finished the transfer case on the Mountaineer, next we're going to do the tie rod ends. I'm going to show you how to do them and how to measure them and get them pretty close. You'll still have to take it in and have the alignment done, but it'll be closer than it was. Hey, I'm D, and this is D-Mon's Garage. One way you can tell that a ball joint's starting to go is there'll be in and out play. There can also be side to side play. And in this case, this one spins quite a bit. They are made to turn like this, but they should be a little stiffer. But if you look, you can actually see there's a little bit of in and out and a little bit of sideways. That'll allow the wheel to flex on the back of the Mountaineers and some of the Explorers and stuff. The first thing I did was measured from the center point of the tie rod end to a fixed point on the chassis. I also marked it down on the body so I wouldn't lose it. These are 18mm bolts. I had to jack it up to get enough clearance for the impact gun. And then I proceeded to pull it out, used a hammer to tap out the other end of the bolt. The next thing I did was use the pickle fork to separate the ball joint out. Here I am on the inside, disconnecting the inner connection point of the tie rod. The next thing I did was, because the tab that's supposed to hold that piece in place was turning, so I put a pair of vice grips on it so I could finish unbolting it. Next, I took the new piece and the old piece back over to the bench so I could make them roughly the same length. I'll go back and check it with those numbers that I wrote on the body to make sure that it's as close as I can get it. Next, I tapped the ball joint in to make sure it was fully seated, and then proceeded to tighten up the nuts and bolts. Next thing to do is measure and see how close you were to your original measurement. Once that is done, you set the lock nut or the jam nut, and then it's all ready to go.
Any maintenance you do on tie rod ends?
No, because like most new things, it doesn't have a grease fitting. Most factory stuff also doesn't have a grease fitting. Sometimes even the replacements don't have grease fittings. Transfer case is done. Tie rod ends are done. Time to take this rolling wreck back to its owner. Now get out in the garage and do something.